Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Big JB doing a part two sort of recap. My personal experiences at PAX. It was my first PAX ever, so that was pretty exciting. On Sunday, I went with my oldest. It was her birthday gift. I got her a ticket to go to PAX, and so the two of us went on Sunday, and then Monday I did kind of the press tour thing, which you can watch in the other video, which you can see in the little pop-up that is happening or has happened. So it was a good day. The Sunday personal day was good. I'm really glad to have experienced it at that point. My gosh, though, the lines, that's one of the things I took away from it. Lines everywhere. And I know that's pretty true for a convention, but man, people were lining up for like 90 minutes to see stuff at PAX. And I mean, I'm all for the Oculus Rift, but I'm not going to wait in line for 90 minutes for a 5-minute, experience. I don't even like lining up at Disneyland, and I love Disneyland. So not interested. The lines were for the games, they were for the panels. People were lining up hour and a half, 2 hours early for stuff. It was absolutely crazy. I was stunned at the number of people who showed up way early and lined up and just stood and waited to get into the show. And I'm like, how much of an appeal does that really have? I mean, honestly, show opened at 10, wait till 10:30 and go in. That's what my oldest and I did. We got in fast, no problem, didn't have to wait in any stupid lines. So, that was that. I'm checking notes. I'm trying to hide it, and I think it's pretty ridiculous, but I'm actually checking a whiteboard here. So if you see me glancing up at this, I'm just making sure that I cover everything that I want to cover. So just honesty for the sake of honesty there. I was really surprised at the lack of swag. Normally when you go to a convention, every booth has got some kind of swag that you can take away, and it's not just a card saying, hey, check out our game when it comes out on Steam. It's usually something that you can take with you. I didn't really see hardly any swag, to be honest with you. There was cosplay, but there wasn't as much as Emerald City. And so from a cosplay standpoint, if you want to see really good cosplay, and maybe it was just the day, maybe it was just Sunday and it was not a big cosplay day, I don't know. But my experience on Emerald City when we went was that it was a lot of cosplay that was there. In fact, it was my oldest. Her name is online as Lishadra. If you see her comment in here, she is my oldest daughter. She turned 19 in August, and it is her very first cosplay, and she is definitely an introverting personality type. So that kind of outgoingness is not something I would have expected from her, but I was thrilled that she wanted to cosplay, and she did it right. I mean, she really wanted to put effort into it. She knew the character she wanted to be, so back up a second. So she went as Lapis Lazuli, I don't know how they say it on the show, from Steven Universe, which she likes, and apparently a lot of people really like. She got a blue wig. She got the dress tailored. She got one made for herself to be able to go to the show. She wasn't able to pull off the blue skin. That was kind of hard to find. Be able to get blue. Blue is a hard color to find in a body paint. Kind of on short notice. It wasn't exactly short, but we probably could have found it, but it would have taken weeks of searching. And she looked fantastic. She looked so mature. I was like, wow, she's an adult. I'm old. Not really. She got recognized 26 times. Now, when I say recognized, what I mean is there were 26 people who called out and said, hey, Lapis, I love your costume, or can I get a picture taken? I don't know how many other people looked at her and went, hey, cool, that was a cool Lapis costume. But I was so proud of her, because she, as you can see in some of these pictures, she totally hammed it up for the camera. I mean, she did great. I was so impressed with her. It was really, really cool. One of the things that she wanted to do while we were there, one of the main reasons that she wanted to go to PAX, was to see Markiplier, who is a streamer, a YouTuber. He has, I think, 9 million subscribers on YouTube. She really likes him, and so she wanted to go to the panel and do the autograph session, and I was totally down for that. And, it's her birthday gift, so let's do it. The panel was great. We went through and listened to the whole panel. It was really fun to see those guys interact together. I got an appreciation for why my oldest and my son really like watching Markiplier and his friends. And so then we left the hall, and we were expecting to go to the autograph session. Well, it turned out that the autograph session was actually in a different location, and you didn't have to be in the panel to go and get an autograph. And by the time we got out of the panel, before the panel had actually even ended, the autograph line was already capped, which meant that one of the major things that my daughter wanted to do while she was there, she didn't get to do, and she was absolutely heartbroken. Now, understand that she had actually taken time. She's an artist. She took time to draw pictures for the people that she likes from Markiplier and his channel. My son did the same thing, and so we were waiting, expecting to be done with the panel, and that the people who were at the panel then get to go to the autograph table, like it'd be right outside. That's not the way it was. We just didn't know how the show worked, and so it was really frustrating. And I don't think it's right that they organize it that way, but it is. Maybe that's the way they do it at every show. I don't know, and maybe it's not reasonable for us to. Whether it's reasonable or not, we were frustrated about that. But it wasn't ruined. The thing I liked about that experience is my oldest, Lashadra, processed. She talked about things, and she finally was like, you know what, this doesn't need to ruin my whole experience. It was a good experience otherwise, right? And so we talked about that, and I'm really glad that she did that, because then she was able to look back and say, I liked this experience, this was really good, I would want to do it again, that kind of thing. The fact that she came so much out of her shell while she was there was just amazing. So I was really proud of her on a lot of levels. Personally, I mentioned this in my my other video on PAX. I loved seeing the indie booth and the indie floor. It was great to see indie game developers there promoting their stuff. I want to see more of that. I want to see them do well and be successful. Definitely check out yesterday's video for the stuff that I talked about, specifically secret ponchos. No surprises that I really enjoyed that, so I've been talking about it a lot. I went by the Sierra booth or area, which was kind of cool because of my history with Sierra, and lo and behold, I was recognized by somebody as being part of Metal Jesus' channel. So that was pretty cool. I mean, at the Sierra booth, no less. So that's pretty awesome. So as you would expect, because he's there every year, Scott Kurtz was there. He's the artist and writer on PvP Online, and definitely recommend that as a comic strip. It's been part of my daily routine for I don't even know how many years, since the late 90s at least. So I've been following him and his career for a long time. He was there, and I've said hi to him before, so I said hi to him at Emerald City when Lashadra was with me. We stopped by again. He actually remembered us from Emerald City, which was great. We said hi. His dad was there, and I acknowledged his dad, but I didn't actually say hello directly to his dad or introduce myself to his dad. And then later I was like, oh man, what a jerky thing to do, because I like his dad from what Scott's shared about him and the way that he shows up in the panels on his comic strip. And I know that his dad likes good manners, and I really respect that. And looking back on it, I'm like, I should have just said, hi, I'm this person, I love your son's work, or something like that. So I tweeted about it. Scott thought it was funny, said it was no big deal, and I went back on Monday to try to rectify the situation, but unfortunately his dad wasn't there. So anyway, I don't know if he'll care or not, but anyway. And then on Monday, when I went to go check back to see if Papa Kurtz was there, Steve Hammaker was there. Now, if you don't know who that is, and I hope I'm not slaying his last name, he is the colorist on the Bone graphic novels. So there was the black and white versions that came out first, and then they republished it with a color version. And Steve was the colorist, and I'm telling you, as much as I love the Bone comics, Steve's colors make that come alive. If you've never read Bone, I definitely recommend picking it up and get the color versions that Scholastic published, because they're really, really good. And Steve and I sat and we talked for probably half an hour. He's friends with Scott Kurtz. He does coloring on one of Scott's other panels, or other comics. And we talked about Heroes of the Storm and other stuff, and it wasn't this big fanboy squealing moment for me. I mean, these people are humans. I recognize that they're humans too. And so I want to treat them like that. So when I engage anybody who I really respect or I think is famous or has a lot of attention, I try to do it at a level of, hey, you're human too. I really like your work, but I don't go over the top in fanboyism. And so as much as I like Steve's work, we just had a conversation about family, about art, about comics, that kind of stuff. It was really, really cool. It turns out that we're actually friends on BattleNet. It was kind of sort of through a misunderstanding, but he was like, "Oh, that was you." And so now we have a connection that way as well. And so he's gonna, I talked to him about art and supporting Lashadra and her art and all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. I'm really glad that we had a chance to do that. So I know it's been a while since I've done a Morning Thunder. I got a lot on my mind. So I want to wrap up with one of the most awkward stories ever, which is always a great way. Like Eddie Izzard says, I like to leave people sort of with that feeling, and I think I'm going to do that rather well here. I had the most awkward toilet experience that I've ever had. Ever. I really needed to use the restroom. And I went into the first floor of the convention center, and in the first floor of the convention center, I did not know this, but it is completely open, including the sit-down stalls. There are walls that technically separate them, but there is a big cutout in the stall, and you can see all the way through. Imagine me right now as if I were sitting on a toilet. This view that you have all the way back, pretty much what I experienced in that bathroom. So you can tell by the picture there that it was wide open and not a pleasant experience at all. I mean, extremely awkward. I spent my time there like this because I did not want to be seen, and it's just acknowledged that it was the weirdest experience that I ever had. Now let me help you understand why I went to that bathroom. The bathrooms on the other floors were closed or not open yet, or those floors were blocked off because there was no access, because they hadn't opened yet. So I asked somebody, I'm like, "Hey, is there another toilet around that I can use?" No, there wasn't, so that's the one that I used. Thanks, Washington State Convention Center, for one of the weirdest and most awkward experiences I've ever had. Thankfully, nobody came in while I was using the toilet, except at the very, very end. Came up to use the urinal, and I just acknowledged the fact that that was a weird experience. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that story, a little peek into the weirdness, and I don't know if I'm ever going to have an experience that tops that one as a weird bathroom moment. I hope not. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Twitch. I will see everybody next time. Bye-bye.